Good morning, children. After a long gap, again I am in front of you virtually. How are you? I hope each one is well. And this is the last lesson in the online video. We'll see what is going to happen. For the 10th class also, it will be the last lesson. Okay, please be attentive, listen the lesson carefully, and everyone should complete the assignments. Don't neglect your studies. Children, we have to start our lesson electromagnetism, and today it will be the first part of our lesson. Okay, listen the lesson carefully and complete the assignment. So children, in the electricity we have discussed the heating effect of current, nothing but related to your heating elements, what we have discussed. And we have to study another effect of current which is of a great practical significance in day-to-day life. This effect is called a magnetic effect of current. Okay, and it is necessary to know what is magnetism. So actually the science of magnetism developed from the observation that a certain ore could attract a bits of iron and is pointed in a particular direction when freely suspended. So this ore was originally found in the district of Magnesia in Asia Minor, is the modern town of Manisa in western Turkey. Okay, and therefore it was named as magnetite. So later, and one more story was also related to this. The name magnetite is given by the shepherd Magnus, the nails of whose shoes and the tips of whose staff stuck fast in a magnetic field when he pastured his flocks. This is the story what we have learned in 6th standard. Okay, and one more case is that the property of attracting small pieces of iron was referred to as a magnetism. So the mineral exercising this influence is called a natural magnet. Thus, a magnet is a substance which has both attractive as well as directive properties. And one more point you have to remember here, magnet or lodestone as it is sometimes called due to its ability to give direction consists of number of oxides of iron with Fe3O4 as its structural formula. So later on William Gilbert confirmed that Earth itself also behaves as a natural magnet. So this is the part what you have to remember in the introduction. So we are going to continue the lesson. Hans Christian Ørsted was one of the leading scientists of the 19th century, played a crucial role in understanding the electromagnetism. So Ørsted carried out experiments that were never performed before. He placed a compass needle underneath a wire and then turned on the electric current. So the needle of the compass showed deflection. So it was believed that electricity and magnetism were not two different concepts. They are interconnected. So through his observation, he showed that electricity and magnetism were related phenomena. So some scientists influenced by this experiment continue to work in the modern field of electromagnetism. Okay, whatever his research resulted in several new scientific theories and various inventions like dynamo, electric motor, and with this a new technology also prospered, leading to inventions of radio, television and fiber optics. So children, listen carefully. The unit of magnetic field strength is named Ørsted in his honor. Okay, this is one of the important bit you may cover in this lesson. So experiment of Oersted or Oersted experiment. Just listen carefully children here. You have to take a thermocol sheet. On that you have to fix two thin wooden sticks of a height 1 centimeter, and you have to make a slit in the wooden sticks at the top of, at one end. Okay, so arrange a copper wire which passes through these slits, and you have to make a circuit using battery, key and a copper wire. You know, battery is the source and the key is to on and off the circuit whenever it is necessary. And also you know that copper wire is act like a conductor. Already we have learnt in our electricity lesson. And one more thing you have to take as a magnetic compass. Okay, because we are studying the magnetic effect of a current in this activity which was given by Ørsted. So what we have to do is next connect a battery, key and a copper wire in series. We know how to connect in series. Already we have done in our electricity lesson. That means end-to-end connection. And you have to place a magnetic compass below the wire. Now actually what we have to study, to understand whether the magnetic compass is working or not, you have to bring a bar magnet close to the compass and observe the deflection. If it is deflecting, that means the magnetic compass is in working condition. Children, I hope you know what is magnetic compass, what you have learnt in your lower classes. So it gives direction. Yes, whenever you bring a magnetic compass to a near a magnetic material or a bar magnet. So what is meant by deflection? Deflection means orientation of the needle in a particular direction. Okay, or you can remember the movement of a needle, and this magnetic compass will be pivoted on a small uh, base so that it can orient means move in a particular direction. That means it deflects according to the magnet placed near to it. So already I told that you have to test this compass whether it is working or not using bar magnet. Now next procedure is take the bar magnet away from the circuit, somewhere you keep it away, and switch on the circuit. As you switch on the circuit, there is a flow of electric current in a circuit, and now you have to place, already I told the compass should be below the wire. Observe the changes in the compass. The compass needle at this place it deflects. This deflection is due to the magnetic field produced by current carrying wire. So the magnetic force developed around a current carrying wire is responsible for the deflection of the compass needle. So the current carrying wire applies a repulsive force on the compass needle. So children, in the lower classes, we have learned that when you bring the bar magnet of a same poles together, we find a repulsion. Whereas you bring opposite poles of a two bar magnet together, we find attraction. So in that way, you have to remember that the current carrying wire applies a repulsive force on the compass needle. So this force is called a magnetic force of attraction or repulsion. Okay. This field which was produced due to the magnetic field which is developed in the wire is due to almost electric current which is passing in the circuit. So children, this is the experimental setup for Oersted experiment. So this is your source, this is your key, these are the connecting wires, or you can take a copper wire, and this is your magnetic compass. Few more observations also you can see during the Oersted experiment. So this is when this condition is called off. Okay. So off means when the current is not flowing. See what you have observed here, the magnetic compass, no deflection. So compass shows no deflection when no current flows through the wire. So when the circuit is on here. So when the circuit is on, what happens? See, deflection shown by the compass needle due to current flowing through the circuit. So this is the picture where in detail you can observe the things. This experiment. Children, listen the activity carefully. So the activity is related to understand the magnetic field. So you have to take a white paper and have to place it on a horizontal table. Now place a bar magnet in the middle of a sheet and you have to take a magnetic compass near to the magnet. It settles to a certain direction. If you observe here, it is settling to a certain direction. And here, if this is indicates one pole, this will be of another pole. If you see here also, this is north pole and south pole. If this is north pole means it will be of south children, and this will be of north direction of a bar magnet. Okay, and what you have to do is use a pencil and put the dots on the sheet of either side of the needle. Remove the compass. So draw a small line segment connecting the two dots. Draw an arrow on it from south pole of a needle to north pole of a needle. Like that you have to repeat the same by placing the compass needle at various positions on the paper. So the compass needle settles in different directions at different positions. Here what I told you, see this is you have to trace a bar magnet here and you have to take a compass. If you see this is orienting in one direction now, you point, make a point over here and you make a point over here. And you have to remove this compass and place at different positions. Like that you have to do this surrounding the bar magnet. Okay. Or you can do either in this way also. If you have many magnetic compass, if you see this is your north and this is your south. So in a magnetic compass, head indicates the north and the tail indicates south children. So I can place a magnetic compass surrounding this bar magnet in this way. So if you see like this I have placed, and you have to observe the orientations. If you see here this is south of a magnetic compass, if you see this is south and this is south, like that how this head of the magnetic compass is changing at different positions. If you observe here, again this is head and this is south. So like that if you see the head position you observe here again, so again it comes here south. Like that if you arrange and check, if you have only one magnetic compass, what procedure I told you have to proceed. If you have many magnetic compasses, you can do like that and observe the orientations of this magnetic needle at different positions. So here you have to remember that whatever the needle of a magnetic compass is affected by the bar magnet without any physical contact. That means a force causes the needle to deflect and make it to come to rest in a certain direction at each and every point. So now what you have to remember here, the force which acts on the needle from a distance is due to the magnetic field of this bar magnet also. Okay, and what we can understand by this activity that the orientation of a needle is different at different places. What we have seen in different compasses when it is placed at different places on the paper, and so that we can get an idea that magnetic field has a different direction and it varies from point to point. Okay, not only that, so we can observe that the place of the compass near the bar magnet, you can observe that is orientation of the needle also changes from point to point around the bar magnet. Now in the same way you have to lift the compass and check whether you are finding the same deflection in the magnetic compass also. You have to see above as well as below, and similarly you take a magnetic compass to some far away, uh, to right side as well as to left side also. So on the whole, what you can decide that at different places we can find different orientations of the magnetic needle. The space surrounding a magnet in which a magnetic force is exerted is called a magnetic field now. So magnetic field is three-dimensional, that you have to remember. Three-dimension means in the direction of x, y and z. Magnetic field has both magnitude as well as direction. These are the two characteristics you have to remember. Okay. How you can understand about magnitude means when you bring a uh, magnetic compass near to the bar magnet, the deflection will be quick. As you take away from the bar magnet, the deflection in the magnetic compass will be slow. By that, I can decide the magnitude near the bar magnet is more. Okay, as you go away, it is less. So direction already you have observed when you place the different magnetic compass at different positions, you can see a different orientations of this magnetic needle. So in that way you have to remember. So a magnetic field exists in the regions surrounding the bar magnet. I told that you can do the same experiment above and below, sideways, right side or left side. So on the whole you can conclude a magnetic field exists in the region surrounding the bar magnet and it is also characterized by strength and direction. The direction of magnetic field at a point is the direction of the resultant force acting on a hypothetical north pole placed at that point. This part is a very much important part you have to remember, children. To understand the lines of magnetic field, what we have to do is take a wooden plank. On that you have to place a paper. Then you take a bar magnet, place a bar magnet at the center of the white paper provided to you. And you have to take iron fillings. You know these iron fillings have attractive property where you are learning from the lower classes. Sprinkle around the bar magnet, and what you have to do is you tap on the white paper. As you tap on the white paper, you can find a particular pattern what you are seeing in this picture. So by this you can understand the magnetic field which I have discussed have a particular pattern. Okay, this is a pattern which is formed by the iron fillings which is sprinkled on the paper. This is a pattern of magnetic field lines around a bar magnet. So here the activity to know or how to map the lines of magnetic field. So here take a paper. This paper should be placed on a wooden plank and I want you to mark the Earth's north-south direction using a magnetic compass. So the arrow indicates north, already I told. Tail indicates the south. If you observe in the compass, you can see the directions north, south and east, west. Okay. And at, a, at one place you mark Earth's north-south direction. So now after marking north-south direction through points, you take a bar magnet and place this bar magnet where the north pole points towards the geographic north. So now what you have to do, this is like that you place, and if you see now here one dot you have to place and here one more dot. Okay, to understand the mapping of lines. Now remove this, place magnetic compass here and you have to plot one more dot here. Like that you have to do surround the magnet. Okay. So I told how to place and how to make a points I told around the magnet. So here you start from here, you make a point over here, this is your compass, and at the head point also you make one point, remove the compass and place at one position, again make a dot, again like that surrounding the magnet you make a dot. So imagine these are the dots, children. Okay, like that. This is above, and you can do below the magnet also. Okay, like that. And at these positions you can do. At this position also you can do. And this position also you can do. At this position also you can do. Like that, you have to make many dots. This dot is nothing but a mapping of magnetic field lines. So after plotting the points, you have to draw a freehand curves like that. Okay, like this is one curve, and if you see, this is one curve. And now in between the curves, if you keep your magnetic compass, you can see the orientations at different positions. You are finding different orientation of the magnetic compass here. Like that, you can complete the magnetic lines like that. Okay, from here or from here, like that. Okay, the pattern you have to do above the magnet and below the magnet also. So you, after completing the magnetic field lines mapping, you may get the pattern like this. If you see, these are the magnetic field lines. Okay, children, you have understood. Okay, what you have to observe here, if you see at the poles, more number of lines are passing here. If you see the direction also, they are originating from north. Okay, here they are originating from north and ends into the south. And if you see here, both the poles, this is north pole and this is south pole, we find many number of lines over here. And when you see throughout the length of the bar magnet, they are spaced apart. Okay, inside they are moving from south to north. This point you have to remember. Outside the bar magnet, they move from north to south. Inside they are moving south to north. So here we have more magnetic lines here. That means at the poles we have more strength. Yes, and throughout the length of the bar magnet, strength will be less. So whatever we have learned, we have to conclude like this. The magnetic field lines are the lines drawn in the magnetic line along which a north magnetic pole would move. So these field lines are also known as magnetic lines of force. The direction of magnetic field line at any point gives the direction of magnetic force on a north pole placed at that point. Since the direction of magnetic field lines is the direction of force on a north pole, so the magnetic field lines are always begin from north pole of a magnet and end on the south pole of the magnet. Inside the magnet, however, the direction of magnetic field lines is from south pole of a magnet to the north pole of the magnet. Thus, the magnetic field lines are closed curves. When a small compass is moved along the magnetic field lines, always sets itself along the line tangential to it. So the line drawn from the south pole of the compass needle to its north pole indicates the direction of field of the magnetic field at that point. The strength of the magnetic field is indicated by the degree of closeness of the field lines, where we have find at the poles of the bar magnet, and the field lines are closest together, the magnetic field is strongest. This is two patterns of magnetic lines of force. So if you see in the first picture, it is uniform magnetic field, and the next one is the non-uniform magnetic field. So actually related to bar magnet, we find in the bar magnet where the lines are moving from south to north, it is the uniform magnetic field. Outside the bar magnet where it is a non-uniform magnetic field. The field is said to be uniform when both the strength and direction are constant throughout the field. Okay, the field is said to be non-uniform when the strength and direction of the field changes from point to point. Okay, the magnetic field and the magnetic lines of force exists in all the planes all around the magnet. All around the magnet, all the planes means in x, y and z axis. Already I have discussed it is a three-dimensional. Properties of magnetic field lines, just remember these properties, and this, for 2 marks you may get. The magnetic field lines originate from north pole of a magnet and ends at its south pole, already I have discussed. Magnetic field lines are closed and continuous curves. The magnetic field lines are crowded near the poles where the magnetic field is strong and are far apart near the middle of the magnet where the magnetic field is weak. The magnetic lines never intersect each other. In the case of magnetic field lines are parallel and equidistant, that part you have to remember that this represents as a uniform magnetic field. So the strength means closeness, already I told. Direction means you can see the orientation of the magnetic compass at various positions around the magnetic field lines. So that gives the direction and strength. Remember, these two are the characteristics of the magnetic field lines. Okay. So children, with that I'm going to wind up today's class. I hope you have understood. You have to read the textbook also, children. Thank you. I'll meet again in the next online video class.